Hello friends, in this video we will see what is random process and its classification. We have already seen what is a random variable. So random variable is nothing but random variable random variable is nothing but assigning assigning real values to the outcome to the outcomes of the experiment to the outcomes of the experiment outcomes of the experiment. So that means random variable is a function of the sample space. Yes, random variable is a function of the sample space. Yes. What is random process? How the random variable is varying with respect to time. If we include the random variable variation with respect to time, then it is called random process or stochastic process. So the random process is a function of both the elements of the sample space, and it is also a function of time variable. So it is a function of two dimension, or it is a function of two variables. One is the elements of the sample space, the other is the time variation. So in general we will represent the random variable with capital X, whereas random process is a function of two elements s comma t, or we can also represent simply x of t. If it is x of t, it is by default it is indicating random process. If we simply mention x, it indicates it is a random variable. As it is a function of two elements, so based on these two, the values taken by the random variable so it can take continuous values. The random variable outcome can take continuous values, or it can take discrete values. The random variable outcome from the sample space, it can take continuous values as well as discrete values. Again, in this we can further subdivide based on the time, whether the time is taking continuous values or discrete values. So if it is taking time is also taking continuous values, we will define as it is one process. If the time is discrete, then it will be given some other name. Again, in the case of discrete random variable with respect to time, whether it is taking continuous values or discrete values, so we can further subdivide. So here the random variable is taking continuous values, time is also continuous, then it is known as continuous random process. What it is known? Continuous random process, because both the value taken by the random variable is also continuous, and the time it takes, the values it takes also continuous, then it is continuous random process. Whereas the values taken by the random variable are continuous, but the time axis is discrete, then it is called continuous random sequence. It is called continuous random sequence. Next, coming to the values taken by the random variable are discrete, but time is continuous. Then it is called discrete discrete random discrete random process. Both values taken by the random variable are discrete and time is also discrete. Then it is called discrete random sequence. Discrete discrete random discrete random sequence. So this is one type of classification of random process. So continuous random process, continuous random sequence, discrete random process, discrete random sequence. So we will see the waveforms also. So here, so it can take any values. So this type here, the value taken by the random variable are continuous, and at every instant of time it is defined. So this is the waveform for continuous random process. Whereas for continuous random sequence it is not defined at all the time instant. It is not defined at all the time instant, but it follows some pattern. It follows some pattern. So values are continuous, but it is not defined at every time instant. Right? So for random sequence means discrete random sequence means the values taken by the random variable also only at predefined time instance, and the values also it can take only few values. The values are also limited, only two values, and it is not defined at all the levels. Next, random process discrete random process discrete random process. So here so the values taken by the random variable are discrete, but time is continuous. It is defined at all instants of time. So it will look like something like this. It will look like something like this. It will look like something like this. It is defined at all instants of time. So here the x-axis is time for all the cases. The value taken by the random variable is on y-axis. So here it is taking only two levels. Either we can call this is as x1 and this is as x2. Similarly, the value taken here it is x1, here it is x2. It is taking only two levels x1 and x2. So here it is defined at all the time instants. So time is continuous here. But here if you see, it is not defined at all the time instant. It is defined only at few time instants. The value taken is also discrete. So this is discrete random sequence. This is discrete random process. Whereas the values taken by the random variable are continuous, but it is defined only at few time instants. So that is why it is called random sequence. Whereas here the values are also continuous, and it is also defined at all the time instant. So this is continuous random process. So this is one way of classifying the random processes. What is random process means? Including the time axis or including the time variations of the random variable is nothing but is called random process or stochastic process. I hope everyone is able to understand what is random process and how we have classified with respect to the values taken by the random variable and with respect to the time axis, or with how it is varying with respect to time. So based on this we have defined the classification of random process. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, share with your friends and classmates.